So we're in my Jeep, and I'm gonna go for a ride. I got the O2 sensor disconnected, and if the erratic idle goes away, this is a new problem, by the way. If the erratic idle goes away, then I know for sure that it's my O2 sensor. If I still have an erratic idle after I've disconnected that O2 sensor, then I'm going to assume that it's probably the AIC that's bad, because they're known to go out, especially at 187,000. Well, we're driving home now, and so far, so good. The Jeep's been running just fine. No hesitation, no erratic idle. It's been running like a champ. And welcome back to our channel. Let me grab my glasses here so I can see. We've got not a whole lot of work done to the Lotus, as you saw earlier. I'm still working on the Jeep. Good news is that it's just the O2 sensor, not the O2 sensor and the AIC. So that's always a good thing. Let's start with I'll start with underneath here. We got the engine in the frame, or in the in the frame. This is what it looks like. Looks pretty good, not too bad. No real issues. The only issue was my fault, because I went and put the rear suspension on before the exhaust, and you don't want to do that with this kit. So I scratched the crap out of the exhaust trying to get it in there, so I'm going to have to do some touching up, but I touched up a little bit already on the bottom side. The top side I need to touch up. But there is the 4-cylinder, and it looks pretty good in there. Not bad at all. So that's that. And then we got the floor pan painted black, because this is also your interior floor. So we'll be gluing the seats onto this. I just painted both sides black, and that's just primer black with a clear clear acrylic over it, so it doesn't go anywhere. So that's that, and then this gets put in. You saw earlier, it gets put in just like that, and then that's what you have on the bottom. So that's looking pretty spiffy. We got the wheels painted up to look like her Lotus wheels, even though these are VW wheels. I think they look pretty good. I mean, almost match her wheel. Still a little differently, that center cap, but for our sake, our shelf, it's close enough. So we got that done. And that was just painted. I painted in black first with primer, black primer, and then I sealed it with a matte clear. And then I took my circle template, which is right here, and just held it to where you just saw the cap, and I shot it with Vallejo aluminum. And then the trimming, I went back with a marker and just did the trimming with a marker, the Prismacolor marker. So that's the wheel. I got the backs ready to go. I changed plans on the attachment, the wheel backs here. I was going to use those rockets, but the holes in the hubs here, it looked like the rockets would fit right in there, but the rockets was a little bigger, and I didn't want to really drill into the hubs. So what I basically did was make the wheel just like the kit supplied wheels, and I put the pin on the wheel instead. So that's a 1/16 rod, and then I had to use I think it was 3/16, maybe 2, like a sleeve, because these had pretty big holes in the back, and I needed to way too big for a 1/16 rod, so that the tubing cut and fit perfect as a sleeve, and then the pin or the rod fits into that. And now we'll have some support for the wheels. I mean, I could have just glued the wheel hub, hub to hub, but I really didn't want to do that because I really, I didn't want these breaking all the time, so that even though it's a small pin, that pin will give the wheel some strength, so it's not all the time breaking. So these will just go right in here, just like that, and then we'll have our wheel. So it took me a while to make these pins because I had to get the right length because we didn't want the wheel kicked too far out. And so I got the front ones done. I got to put the pins on the back ones yet. But so that's that. That's the wheels. And the body we got painted, and this is the first time I used Tamiya spray paint, and it's not too bad. I bought this can of Italian red thinking it'd be a bright red like her car was, but I was surprised that this isn't bright at all. It's more like an apple red, and I was really disappointed. So thank goodness I bought a can of this bright red, and I bought that Italian red, and this is much brighter. There's a lot more orange in it like her car had. And then so I had to reshoot the body with that what is it, TS86. So I sprayed it with the TS86, and then we hit it with where's that, the clear here, and this is the first time I used the TS13, and it's okay too. So we shot the body with the clear, and it came out pretty good, I think. My body work came out excellent. You can't even tell that there's a filler panel in there on that engine cover, well, on the quarter panel by the engine cover. That came out pretty good, and then the front came out pretty good where the turn signal lights used to be. So that's our car. I think that's looking pretty spiffy, and I'll just let it sit here now for, well, I don't know, I'll let it sit for 2 or 3 days. Let it cure up and harden up, and then I might throw some Novus on it and go from there. But yeah, it looks, it came out pretty good. I'm happy with my body work, and yeah, pretty spiffy. So that's the body, and I think that is it. That's all I got done. I think our next step is to put these wheels on, actually, to glue the Y-frame in the floor pan and attach the wheels, and then start working on the interior and all that other, the engine compartment and all that fun stuff. So that's our next step. I think tomorrow I get my egg plane kit in because I'll be entering the egg plane group build. I just thought it looked like fun, and those little kits look fun. And I saw this one egg plane kit, and we'll talk about it more when I show the intro video, but it reminded me of a children's book I read when I was a kid, one of my favorite books, and we'll talk about that when I get the in the intro video, but I think it'll be a fun little build. Alright guys, that's it. Take care. We'll see you in the next video, which will probably be the egg plane intro video.